I think. Therefore, Fridays are awesome. Who would disagree with that philosophy? I'm Carl Azuz. This is CNN 10. The U.S. President's annual State of the Union speech has been called off for now, and the reason concerns the political fight taking place over the government's partial shutdown. Here's what happened. On January 3rd, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi invited President Donald Trump to give his annual address in the U.S. House of Representatives in late January. But on January 16th, the Speaker recommended that the President postpone the speech or send it in a letter until the partial government shutdown was over. On Wednesday, President Trump said he was moving ahead with plans to give the speech in the House. Speaker Pelosi responded that the House would not authorize it to take place until the government had completely reopened. And though the president initially suggested that his administration would find another place for the speech, he said Wednesday night that it would be postponed because no venue can compete with the importance of the House chamber. Democrats and Republicans continue to blame each other for the shutdown and the postponement of the speech. But one thing that's interesting is what the Constitution says about the address. The president shall, from time to time, give to the Congress information of the State of the Union. It doesn't say it has to be every year. It doesn't say it has to be at a joint session of Congress and the House. So what the two sides are arguing about is the tradition that Democratic and Republican presidents have observed throughout the years, but not a constitutional obligation. 10-second trivia. Which of these animals is not featured on the Chinese zodiac, an astrological calendar cycle? Ox, bear, pig, or rooster? The animals that repeat every 12 years in the Chinese zodiac do not include a bear. But they do include the pig. And February 5th is when the year of the pig begins. It's also year 4717 on the Chinese calendar. The Lunar New Year is a massive celebration for China. People travel hundreds of thousands of miles to be with their families. And because the country's population is nearly 1,400,000, the holiday triggers what's known as the largest annual human migration.
2019 may be the year of the pig, but like every Lunar New Year, it's also the year of the crush during a 40-day period leading up to and after the lunar holiday. And the rush is already underway. More than 400 million Chinese holiday travelers will take the train. Over the 15 days of the festival itself, from February 5th to February 19th, rail authorities are bracing for a near 9% increase on last year's numbers. That works out at more than 9.5 million passengers a day. Some 73 million people are expected to choose air travel. That means there will be about 15,600 planes in the sky every day of the holiday. But the road remains the most popular way of traveling, mostly by bus during the Lunar New Year period. A more enjoyable holiday tradition is the Jiegong Lantern Festival, which runs until March 1st. Some of the lanterns are up to 22 meters tall. It's a blaze of color and imagination with birds, fish, and of course pigs lighting up the dark winter nights. The festival dates from the Tang Dynasty around 618 AD.
Back in the day, and by that we mean the 1950s, many people used to have milk delivered to their homes. It arrived in glass bottles that they'd return to the milkman. And the reason that went away is because new production methods extended milk's shelf life, and it became less expensive and more convenient to just pick it up at the store. But the delivery model may be making a comeback, helped by a company that aims to be more environmentally friendly.
Once you've finished drinking your coffee from your disposable coffee cup, do you cherish that coffee cup for many years to come? Absolutely not. Recycling is dealing with the symptom of waste, but not the root cause of waste. We have to turn off the tap.
Don't create the waste in the first place. That's the idea behind a new project from some of the world's biggest brands. It's called Loop.
Loop is effectively a reboot of the Milkman, but in a very, very modern way.
With Loop, when you shop online for Haagen-Dazs ice cream, Dove deodorant, or one of the other 300 or so available products, they'll be delivered to your door in a new, durable packaging inside a reusable shipping tote. They'll cost about the same as the ones you'd buy in a store, but you'll pay a refundable deposit for the container.
And then when you're empty, without any cleaning, just like a disposable experience, you throw it back into your Loop bin.
And instead of going to the landfill or recycling plant, Loop products will be picked up, cleaned, refilled, and ultimately reused by another customer.
It moves from being disposable to reusable, which is a huge upgrade for the environment.
Of the 34.5 million tons of plastic waste created in the U.S. in 2015, less than 10% was recycled. So Zaki sought out some of the biggest purveyors of plastic packaging. His pitch? The plastic problem is serious and you're contributing to it. But here's a way to help.
As we think forward to the future, we know consumers will demand more recyclable products, more reusable products.
Nestle decided to launch on Loop with 5 flavors of its Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Project Loop is a way for us to tip our toe into this territory and really learn a lot.
To do that, teams had to completely reimagine the traditional pint made of coated paper.
We have designed the package itself with stainless steel, which allows it to keep the product cold much longer than a regular ice cream package would.
In London, Unilever's design team was working on their own redesign. To bring Axe, Degree, and Dove deodorants to Loop, they created a sleek stainless steel capsule.
We didn't compromise on beauty and experience, but we wanted to make sure that we are doing a fantastic action to the planet.
In May 2019, Loop will launch in just New York and Paris, with only several thousand customers in each city.
In 2019, Loop does not make good business sense for the partners because it's at low scale, and they will likely lose money on every transaction in that year.
This is an investment for us. We're not that far, but we're going to learn a lot from the test.
An even bigger problem with starting small. Loop requires a ton of shipping. Haagen-Dazs ice cream ordered by a New Yorker will start in Bakersfield, California, then be trucked across the country, stored in Maryland, packed in New Jersey, all before ultimately being delivered by UPS. Once the customer's done, that container travels back the way it came. All that transportation adds up to a big environmental cost.
There's absolutely an impact of reuse, which is shipping the empties and cleaning them. But if you compare that to the impact of making new packaging, reuse becomes somewhere between 50 and 75% better for the environment.
But the most important question remains: will consumers be willing to give up the plastic lifestyle to get on board?
A man in Iowa recently won the lottery. Well, not the jackpot. He won $1 on a scratch-off ticket. But he went to the state lottery headquarters and asked for the big prize treatment. And after a laugh, they gave it to him, printing up a big old check with the prize listed and making him feel like $1 million, if not the winner of it. He then went and blew it all in one place. He bought a half gallon of gasoline. Well, many lottery winners move. He was able to move about 10 to 15 miles depending on his car. It might not be a jackpot of gold, but it was probably worth the grand prize of admission, and you got to credit him with keeping it lotto real. If we had $1 for every time we covered a story like that, it might not be a lottery, but it'd be the same as that lottery winner. I'm Carl Azuz, CNN 10. Hopes you have a great weekend.